Okay, this is the orientation of this rod. This part right here goes toward the top with this bracket right here, and this ball sits down inside of it, and that goes right up here. And I've just laid these screws in place just so they don't get lost. And then this portion here, this pin goes inside that hole right there. That's what holds the gear on. And then this is in the proper orientation as well. So I'm getting ready to take this rod and this pin, press pin, roll pin I should call it, to Stewart Brothers to make sure I can get the right size. And I had to cut the gear off in order to get that roll pin out of there. So I just went to town with it, with my cutoff wheel thing, angle grinder, whatever, and cut that puppy off there. So this screwdriver fits down in that roll pin hole perfectly, so I'll be able to use it to install the new one. And right down here are the gears that are being replaced. So where you can see those nuts right there, that's what holds this bracket right here, and there's a gear that fits on there, and then the other gear, which is this one, that drives the belt system. So I don't know why in the world Delta ever thought that that was going to work for any length of time, but to use plastic gears is ridiculous. Fortunately, I was able to find this gear set through, what was the name of the company? Renovo Parts. Yeah, Renovo Parts. Now, they're very proud of these gears. This shipping cost me like $173, but there's no other alternative because Delta does not make those gears anymore. But these guys at Renovo decided to make these parts and to machine them out of steel. So that makes a whole lot more sense than that old plastic piece of junk right there. So this is the gear that just came off, and the orientation of the gear, I might go ahead and talk about too, is this way. So it will mesh with the mesh with the other gear as it should. So there you go. That should work well and not give me any troubles. Okay, got the roll pin I needed and put that on, and that's this gear right here. The only thing is the roll pin did not go all the way through the other side, but the fact is most of it is in there, so I just cut it off with my cutoff wheel at the end, which you can't see it, it's on the other side. But and then this one down here, let me get my finger there, this one was a piece of cake to install. There's two socket head screws. Now everything is put back in place. The rod, again, that was easy to put in place. Got this flange down here, this mounting flange, and then up at the top there's a little plastic ball that rides against the chassis. I oiled that just so it'll spin easier, and put the hand wheel back on. So all of that was a piece of cake. That stuff I just now did took about 5 minutes, 10 at the most. But what is strange to me is that the diagram shows that this belt is supposed to ride on the inside of these wheels like it is on those, but that belt isn't long enough to do that. I don't think it was ever, I don't think it ever rode on the inside of those, because those things look brand spanking new. There's no wear on them at all. So I'm gonna keep it where it is and just adjust these. These are adjustable for belt tension, and get them where I think they need to be, and then give it a whirl, see what I got. All right. Okay, I got this thing together and finally got the table adjusted so that it is level. And got it set back up again. Got the Coleman, did all the heavy work, but put the motor back in place, bolted it in, and adjusted this belt. This is what drives the drum itself, which is up here. And double check that. Let's see. That works. And this is a stepped pulley, so obviously if I'm in the this is the drive pulley, so if I'm in that position on this larger pulley here, it's going to have more torque. So it's going to go slower, should go slower, I believe, based on that ratio. I could try it out and see, but anyway. So that's that. And then the table itself is this knob here. And this table right here, conveyor belt, for lack of better terms. This is like a sandpaper grip for whatever board or whatever you're running through there. It's a little bit slippery. I just have to try a test piece and see if it still works well. But if not, I'll have to get a new one of those conveyor belts. But yeah, so that's how you adjust the speed. So that's that. And then, of course, the knob to, or wheel to bring the table up or down is right here. So this would be the up position, going up. So yeah, you can see that's working. So yeah, success on that, I guess. So there's one machine that's back in operation, and I gotta tune up my shaper now, find out why that the tool bit raising and lowering is so difficult to do. You know, or height adjustment. I put a pair of vice grips on there. So I'll get that figured out and get that one tuned up later. Okay, this is done now. So I had some sandpaper from a while back. This is 36 grit, which is very coarse. But basically what you do is you just change these rolls of paper out to different grit size, depending on the kind of finish you're looking for. But I use this 36 just kind of for glue removal and whatnot. So it's got a spring clamp in here that you put the first end in, and that holds it in place, and you kind of wrap it along the drum, and you get to the end over here, and it's got a clamp that holds it there as well. So let's see what we got here. Yep, so that works. And then on this end right here, I've got another auxiliary component that allows you to do sanding with this. Let me put my phone down here before I drop it. Allows you to do sanding with this thing, which is convenient. We get this thing hooked up. I don't remember if I bought this separate or not, but when I bought this sander years ago. But anyway, that's it attached. Now, it's kind of got a cool little clamping mechanism here that grabs hold of this collar and this groove and tightens against it. But the sander itself is up here. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that down right now, but anyway, it's got this airbag in it, and you kind of inflate it to whatever hardness you want for whatever aggressive sanding you want to do. But it's cool because this thing here also, where you know, this thing's spinning out here, you're sanding, and it's got a dust collection port right down here. So that's kind of nice as well. But anyway, just glad to have this thing back up and running, and I'll be able to use it for, I just remember using this thing all the time. It's very handy to have, especially for wider boards and, you know, cabinet work, things like that. So, all right, see ya.